Chauncey Gardner-Johnson leaving the Eagles isn't such a bad thing overall. Listen, we know how much of a great player he was last year. He led the league in interceptions, absolutely tremendous. But there's a reason why the Eagles did not tag him or sign him to a big extension, which they still could in all reality. But I think it's pretty obvious CJ just wants too much money right now. The reason we got him from the Saints for such a small amount was he wanted too much money. The Saints didn't want to pay him. I think the same thing is happening here with the Eagles. There are a lot of safeties out in this free agent market right now, and I don't think any of these safeties are going to get what they want. Jesse Bates was trying to work his way out with the Bengals last year. So it's just such a difficult thing with these safeties right now. And I don't think the safety has as much value as they used to have in the NFL. Right now, a tag is about $14 million, which the Eagles don't have a ton of money under the cap anyway. So to just waste that on one position when you have 10 other free agents on defense that you need to somehow figure out, patch this defense back together where they're a good defense again. When you have so many different holes like they have, you can't be blowing it all on big situations. Blankenship and Epps are fine at safety. I don't even know if they're going to re-sign Epps either. But I'm confident that Blankenship is a starting caliber safety in the NFL. And right now, that's all you really need at that position for the Eagles is a starting caliber safety. Yes, it's nice to have that star like CJ maybe, but let's not forget, CJ was injured for 5 games last year. And in 2021, he was also injured for 5 games. If you're missing your star safety for 5 games a year, that's not great. You really don't need that. Like that is something that winds up being a liability, and you're still paying these guys big time money. The Eagles also historically don't pay safeties big time money. I mean, you saw they let Malcolm Jenkins walk a couple years ago, and they even let Brian Dawkins walk a couple years way back, for me at least. So safety has never been that big of a need for the Eagles, or that big of a want for the Eagles. You look at, they haven't really drafted a safety in the first round in God knows how long. I don't remember the last time they drafted a safety in the first round. I think the last safety high I remember drafting was Jaquan Jarrett. I think it was a second round pick. So I just don't. The Eagles don't value safeties that highly. Would I like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back? Yeah, but if it's gonna hinder them from bringing back guys like Javon Hargrave, Brandon Graham, Bradbury, 2 of the linebackers, like if you can sign 3 guys instead of 1, you do it. Now I'm not sure if they can or not, but I'm pretty confident they can get Brandon Graham, Kaiser White, and Epps for the same price that you can get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for what he wants right now. Also, none of the top 10 safeties in the league, paid safeties in the league, are on elite teams right now. Safeties don't equate to wins right now in the NFL. They just do not. It's just that simple. So everybody freaking out that the Eagles did not re-sign Chauncey Gardner-Johnson yet, pump the brakes. It's going to be okay. Remember how we got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the first place. Because he came from a team that didn't want to pay him. We gave up, a 4th round pick? No, less than that, I think. 6th round pick? Something like that. There's going to be another guy like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson out there this year that Howie Roseman will trade for. And they're going to be fine. Howie Roseman knows what he's doing. And for the first time in my life, I think I can trust Howie Roseman. Which sounds crazy for all the dumb moves he's made. But he's also gotten this team to 2 Super Bowls in 6 years. And I feel confident he can get us back there again. But part of Howie Roseman's thing is not giving out those big money extensions. He extends them before they get that big money extension. Like Josh Sweat, like Mailata. He gets them before they get to that huge extension. And by doing that, he's able to go out and get these veteran guys in free agency, like a Bradbury on the $11 million a year he had last year. like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who we traded for last year. He does these things, and I don't want to say it's patchwork that he does, but in a sense it is. He signs a bunch of veterans who can play for that year, who are on expiring contracts, who are willing to prove themselves to get that next big contract. That's what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson did. He proved himself. And he's getting a big money deal with somebody. Is he going to the Eagles? I don't think so. I think he's going somewhere else. He was a great Eagle while he was here. I know the fans love him, and I think that's a big part of why Eagles fans are a little upset. It's because they love Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He fits with this locker room. He's a high energy guy. He fights when he's on the field. He is the epitome of a Philadelphia Eagle. But you just can't afford it right now. So these are my thoughts on the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson situation with the Eagles. Thank you guys for tuning in for this. I'm going to be doing a couple more videos today. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is. Thank you guys. And as always, Cahtah.